Datsky looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down Yo on the Greymane, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthael up there. A triple.
The Leyline used in the back, catching 3 people on top of that, followed up by the APOC and the Lurking on. Catching 2, but this time on is gonna be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop. Mosh pit goes out. Ruby's still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the Boros on the backside, but the Euro gets under and then stunned. Oh my goodness! The combo!
Getting shrunk down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Greymane.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got.
Ooh, that was... There's the buttons I meant to press. Sorry about the little glitch there. I tried to type into the lobby as I was changing scenes, and my OBS doesn't like to immediately change windows. Howdy, hello, welcome. That's 3 for those of you who've watched Community. Welcome to twitch.tv/LTaquito. I am your host, Taco. As you see to my... It's a mirror. For me, it's my left. For you, it's my right. For either way, I have no friends and nobody's here with me. So you have just me all by my lonesome tonight. We got a big old matchup of not div. See, I knew I forgot to change something. Of not div B Northeast, of div D East. Team Ionic versus Martyr of Moratorium, part of the fam. That is Team Mom. As you can see on the screen, map bans, Alternate Pass and Towers of Doom, and Volskaya Foundry and Braxis. There has been, I tell you what, a lot of trash talk between these two teams. This is a heated match. Things such as, you're going down, insert trash talk here, and, oh no I'm not. It is a nail biter. So without further ado, we're going to jump right on into it. We are going with Cursed Hollow, map number 1. Into the draft.
Cursed Hollow.
I'm so glad to see supporters of both teams in the chat. Cursed Hollow, some really good teamfight opportunities, lots of choke point potential, but one of the biggest maps for wave clear, and it's one of the biggest maps. However, the curse does help with the clear. You need to be able to to get the lanes pushed out so you're not stressed and forced to have to win all of the objectives. You want to be able to give a little bit if you need to. You want to have that good camp clear, get that camp pressure. So let's see what type of strategies both these teams go for. Ban number 1 over to Anduin Rin. I wouldn't want him in any of my games either. He's such a whiny little child. Lots of really strong protects, or the leap of faith over walls, the light bombs over walls, and those choke points hard to get rid of. Falstad, a really strong hero right now after the patch. Gus, boss steals, gusting into walls for Team Wombo. Just a strong hero already. And his even though they got rid of the bribe, the camp potential is really strong. His auto attack build, I hear, is really strong right now as well, getting some extra baseline trait stuff. His AoE boomerang being shifted into baseline. Ripper Hot's calling out target bans, so maybe that's some of it too. Hanzo, I do believe, is a target ban, because who plays that guy? Excuse me, sorry. So Hanzo is simple geometry, scatter arrows, lots of stuff to bounce off of. Malfurion kicked my ass the other day. He that AoE root sleep after the root at level 1. A devastating ability, especially here on this map. Again, with those choke points. Joanna coming out, first pick, really strong tank. Really, I'm going to go ahead and say boring tank to play, but has a lot of potential to set up team fights. being responded to with ETC and Rhaegar coming in strong for the Horde right now. I like Bloodlust. The Ancestral buffs are pretty good, so maybe we'll see some Ancestral. Love me some Li Ming though. Again, Li Ming throwing bombs and not bombs, but you know, orbs. You know, lobbing bombs from downtown. Hang on, I gotta catch my breath a second. My heart. Oh, my heart. Li Ming, really good behind the walls. Great in the choke points. Brightwing, oh my goodness. The true terror of the skies. The aspect of death herself. Death Brightwing. Huge on this map. Able to make the rotations. Able to turn that top lane fight around. Able to get in. Get some secures on the objective. Overall, just such a strong hero. And she cleans up the battlefield after you're done killing your enemies. Jimmy, the large minion Rainer. No, not you, Joestown. Jousttown? Jouston? I'm going to assume that Joe is the right pronunciation. So the way, when I started learning to tank, the way that Joe is made not boring is the whole point of tanking is to enable your team to do damage. And if you think of that as the game and your job, and you think of your team's damage as yours, hey, I got this condemn and subdue out. Boom. No. I'm not saying Joanna hate. I'm saying she's boring to play, but she's super effective and definitely worth that first pick. Phoenix with the huge meme beam, and it gets bigger. It's like, I stun you, it's on your face, and it gets bigger and you can't get out of it. Right, Ripper? Thank you. Except I don't hate her. I just don't like to play her. Kalthos, we don't need to talk about KT. Oh, KT is open, must pick KT, right? Like, a lot of damage to come from there. He's a strong character. I love the Ragnaros. The Maiev kind of confuses me. I like Maiev. I don't think they have a comp to support Maiev, though. And that makes me a little bit nervous. Not gonna lie. The Maiev makes me a little bit nervous in this comp, but I love the Ragnaros. Turning this huge map a lot smaller. Or bringing Sulfurous Smash into a big fight. Speaking of one Fang and three nubs, where are you, you little guy? Ugh. I know. Rag gonna have huge fight presence here. Thrall, I love Thrall. I love Thrall in most comps. I wish I played him more. Earthquake, one of the strongest baseline heroics in the game. Level 20, the shield, so good defensively. All right, we are going into the draft, and I will start up, not a draft, into the match, and I will start up a poll, or a prediction, rather. Oh, you're going to have to remind me to do those push-ups after the game. Not Vela, thank you for redeeming your fuzzy taco lips. I don't hate Joanna, I hate playing her. All right, while we are loading in, let me get a poll started, unless one of my mods wants to help me out with that at some point in the future. We've got Ionic and Mom. Game number 1 prediction is live. You have 5 minutes to wager your fuzzy taco lips. And we are in game numero uno. On the blue team, we have Colovian. I should have looked over these names and tried saying them in the lobby. Colovian on the KT, Ragu on the ETC Aura, Luna on the Rhaegar, Stro on the Thrall, and Hexblades on the Phoenix. That is Team Ionic. And over here in the red corner, we have Rift on somebody. Who is that?
4, 3,
cool, Maiev. We have Crypto Knight on somebody else. We have Bearded Dragon on the Dragon. We have King Andrew on the Li Ming. We have Dauntress on the Ragnaros, and that makes Crypto Knight on the Joanna. That is Team Martyr of Moratorium. Round 1, fight, I guess. I mean, they're not doing anything. Brightwing getting the Watchtower, the most exciting thing to happen so far in this game. Let's look at these level 1s. We got Wolfie build out of Rhaegar. Phoenix, who I don't know anything about. Someone in the chat, let me know about this level 1 talent for Phoenix. globes, echo, globes, globes, globes. Ragnarok's going into the Blast Wave build. I support. Pursuit of Vengeance, that is not the quest. Hold your ground for the Iron Skin. Bribe out of Brightwing on a big map. That's pretty bold. I like it. I want to see how it goes. They don't have a whole lot of camp clear though, so I kind of understand Maiev getting started on that siege camp early. Rhaegar as well. I like the Maiev camp right now. I wish Rhaegar was doing the Bruisers instead, but we can talk about that later if anybody wishes to disagree. Brightwing laning off against the Phoenix and doing quite well, I might say. Only lost half of her health so far. Thank you for the feedback, Blue Hawk. Mage armor into the KT makes sense. You never know if you're going to see a pyroblast, and it's just a lot of magic damage in general. I'd just be concerned about the meme beam blasting off all your mage armor charges before the pyro hits, assuming a pyro. But I'm gonna go with a Phoenix here, just because it's cursed and you want that zone control. All right, Joanna coming up to help the Brightwing with that Bruiser Camp. No Bruiser Camp for Team Ionic right now. And I believe that's all of the talents. So there we go. But Brightwing able to respond to the rest of her team as needed, able to hold a lane also in the meantime. Looks like we have Phoenix getting pulled by the Maiev and losing the shield. Not a whole lot of health loss though. Maiev at about half. There's a vault of the Wardens for the show. And we have a big group effort on this Bruiser camp for Team Ionic. Going to get that rolling into this next objective. Next objective being first objective. By the way, Val, good to see you again. I think I've already mentioned Ripper and Blue. Thank you for your information. Beast, as always, asking the important questions. And there's a condemn onto the ETC, who's going to slide out after being pulled by the Humble Brine. Gets blinded, but that doesn't really matter. The flashlight from Joanna, just trying to put a little bit extra damage out. The tribute is up. We're about to have a 5v5 versus big old T. Oh, thank you. I have to do it like that. It's weird. And Joanna going to be first blood of the game, but Rhaegar going to go as well. Rift looking really low, blows up. Phoenix finishing off that kill. 2 for 1 in favor of Team Ionic coming into the first objective, but nobody's going to cap it yet. Neither team saying give, neither team making a push on Li Ming, trying to get it. A little bit of extra damage out onto the Phoenix. That shield is going to go away with a giant orb. Throwing galaxies from Galaxy Brain Li Ming. Yeah, Ripper, it's weird with the overlay. If I click on a minion like this, when it dies, it'll go away. But if it's something that generally won't just go away like that, or I need to clear it, then I have to press a number pad or a key onto a hero and then press E off of it. It is, I don't know, it's a weird clear, but just E won't work on those things, and it makes me really sad. But let me zoom back out for a better view of the action or of this jungle area. You know, it is. Hey, Goose, welcome to the area. Beast, you're right. The core health is super important because the way you win this game is your core has at least 1 health and the enemy core has 0. So you always want to keep an eye on that core health. Brightwing getting another easy siege camp with that bribe over there down on the lane, but it is going in the same lane as the next objective, so it's probably not going to get a whole lot of value. This siege camp right here that Rhaegar is working on, probably going to get a lot of value, whole lot of value, especially if this fight lasts as long as the first one does. Either Maiev has to stay up and clear, or Rag has to magically get 10 and wave it. But even wave won't take out the siege camp because the siege camp, I'm sorry, I'm showing you a cleared siege camp because I'm talking about the siege camp. Ripper, I'm so glad you were here. I'm glad you were entertaining it. Definitely feel free to enable notifications so you know when I'm casting in the future. That's most of what I do on this channel. a big Condemn that's going to be escaped by the rest of the team. Condemn on cooldown. I don't remember if I saw the Iron Skin, but there it is. There's the Iron Skin, and Condemn just going to hold the ETC in place, but Aura picking up the objective real quick. That is a quick second tribute cap over to Team Ionic. Yeah, absolutely. We have talents coming up. I'll go ahead and take a look at those. I will go over level 10s when they get picked up. But right now we're going to look at a whole lot of nothing because these teams like to not kill each other. Guys, we're 6 minutes into the game. Both of y'all are basically level 10. There it is. You're both level 10. There's only 3 deaths. Let's get some more murder. Looking at level 10s, we do have Stage Dive, Sundering. I do not like Sundering. I think Earthquake's the call here. But that's my opinion. And I was about saying that's probably why I'm in gold. But I made it to plat yesterday. Hoo-yah. Phoenix, as we were talking about. Planet Cracker and Ancestral Healing. One of my mods could take care of that for me, please. I would appreciate that. There's the Stage Dive after the KT goes down from the Sulfurous Smash from the Ragnos. There's the Planet Cracker out onto most of the team fight. Almost all of Martyr Moratorium, half health or low, leaving the only one above. Just now loses the rest of that mage armor. Trying to get the damage out, and Brightwing coming in with the clutch save. 200 something health on the Maiev, gonna get picked up by the Brightwing. There is the Shade in, and a number bind onto the ETC, gonna pull it back. There's a Polymorph, not gonna be enough, but Rift falling low. 300, 100 health, 240 health. Rift is gonna get out Maiev. Oh my lucky stars. And there goes. Thank you, Goose, I appreciate you. Wow, what a fight. And that's going to be the 3rd tribute in a row over to Team Ionic. And going to pick up a Joanna in the process after the May goes down a few seconds before. 2, I think 3. Someone else died early in that fight, I thought. But a curse and 2 deaths. A big early curse going over to Team Ionic. Did I cover? I did not. On the side of Mom, Sulfurous Smash, Warden's Cage, Blessed Shield, Blink Heal, and Disintegrate. I don't see a whole lot of synergy out of Martyrs and Moratorium. I like the heroes. I think Team Ionic has better synergy, and right now those team fights are kind of showing that. And playing from behind Ragnaros with the Sulfurous Smash, that's going to be difficult. Yeah, it was KT that died first. Thank you, Ripper. Oh, Ragnaros barely getting into the molten core. Almost no health fighting the Phoenix. And here comes Maiev, maybe to help. Gonna pull the Phoenix into the molten core. No, not really. There's a little bit of a shade. Oh, what's that called? I forget. Pursuit of Justice, I think is what it's called. And I hear the meme beam. And that must have been what killed Ragnaros. Hexblade's paying attention to where Rag went into the molten core, throwing it on as he gets out. Ragnaros just delaying his death with that trait. Here comes a bruiser camp for Team Ionic. Good news for Martyrs of Moratorium. Martyr, singular? I think singular. Tribute count is 0 to 0. They can give if they need to. They can catch up. They need to catch this boss play though. Oh, Rift sniffing it out, not going to be able to get in there, and you don't want to get in there. Oh my goodness, Maiev, what are you doing? Run for your, don't dismount. Gonna get caught by the ETC and blasted into oblivion. Maybe delaying the boss for a couple of animations to give the team more time to get there. Well, Ripper, the global laser, it was really only about half the lane because Phoenix was in this bush here in the bottom lane and then lasered up to this fort that they just took. So, I mean, I understand, but at the same time, it was pretty close range. And there is the other meme beam coming out of Li Ming. The only meme beam missing from this game is the Spear of a Noob. Boss pushing in onto the keep. 5-man defense on the Boss. 4-man push going to back off. Thrall trying to push top of that siege camp. This looks like it might be, well, it's a clear. Keep stays up for Martyr Moratorium. Team Ionic probably get a free tribute out of this. And instead, gonna bail on the tribute, go for the Boss, but Martyr Moratorium sniffing it out. Kryptonite coming in, there's the condemn. There is a big ol', no, there's no subdue there. But a big condemn. The Boss is going to reset. The Planet Cracker splitting the team. Here comes the Sulfura Smash, not onto a team with a blue health bar though, but Rift, Vault of the Warden with the Living Flame on Living Bomb. On going to spread it to the team. Lots of AoE damage coming out from the KT, and that is, oh, there's a pickup for Joanna, but a 2-for-1, really what Martyr needed right now to start getting back into this game. A numbers advantage. They're going to come down to this tribute more than likely and pick it up basically for free now. I know they lost Joe, but after that 2-for-1, now it's for free. But no, Rift going to fall in the process. No longer a free tribute. Rag, you had it. You had the opportunity. You were here. You backed off. ETC's, I know you don't know this, but ETC's coming for your toes. Yeah, yeah. And we now get a 4th tribute in a row over to Team Ionic. The cow just chugging along, doing cow things. I love the name Ragu. I love it. That's great. Ooh, Dontris holding on as Rag in the bush. Oh, gonna back off, but sees his team in trouble. Here comes the right wing onto the wrong target. The Unstoppable coming out. Iron's getting down for Joanna. And free siege camp over to Team Ionic. They are in a really good position right now. One boss up, the enemy boss for Team Ionic.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
And the 5th tribute of the game coming up. Let's take a quick look at level 16s. Not a huge expert on about half, on a good chunk of these heroes. If you see anything interesting in the talents, let me know. Just say hero and level number, and we'll take a look. But there is the slide from ETC onto the Rag. ETC trying to get out. There is the phase shift coming in, but the Ancestral Healing goes out. Rhaegar and KT still gonna fall though. The Ancestral Healing not gonna be enough. Thrall also looking low. Gonna get chased out. Good 5-man fight at level 16. Coming from Martyr Moratorium, taking out 2, not losing anybody. They're starting to get their comms going. They're feeling that jive. They just needed about 14 minutes of snooze on the alarm clock. I'm interested to see how Martyr Moratorium responds after this, but sorry about that, allergy season. Responds to the boss. I like getting the Bruiser camp. I don't think they can push with the boss. I think it gets the fort anyway. So a 5-man response from Team Ionic no, it's not going to get the fort. They're going to melt this boss down. Team Martyr Moratorium needs to get structure damage from somewhere.
The choice is simple.
And they don't get a single building. That's gonna hurt. A really good, taking the boss off the map is good. That siege camp is gonna be pushing top. That's gonna be rough coming into this objective, but Martyr Moratorium really wants to get it and start putting pressure on Team Ionic. They can give this one, but then they're back in the position of always having to be at the objective, and there really isn't a reason to give this one right now, but they need to keep an eye on that siege camp. Team Ionic in a pretty comfortable position right now. And Maya getting kicked out to the side. There is a laser. There's a mean beam. Li Ming gonna fall to the Planet Cracker. Oh my god, 102 health on the rag. Phase shift comes in, but Joanna gonna fall. That's gonna be it for this fight for Martyr Moratorium. Kael'thas falls in the process, but sometimes you just gotta pay the price for picking Kael'thas. You thought I was gonna say for your team to win the fight, didn't you? Nah. Nah. See, Valkymer, you can give me credit for or you not credit, but I don't like Kael'thas. that's just straight up I don't like Kael'thas. But oh, that's not the button we want. Kael'thas is putting up some good numbers, getting the effective damage. So the reason Kael'thas doesn't have huge damage numbers is because those fights are going really quick and most of that damage is sticking. And when the damage sticks, especially from Phoenix with that blow up, when that damage sticks, you don't have time to get large damage numbers. But as long as you get large kills and the enemy team gets large death numbers, your damage number don't matter. Another big boss coming over for Team Ionic coming into this objective that will give them curse if they pick it up. I'm trying to find the important. Where's the important one? Is it 8? It's 8? No, I don't know where it is. I'll find it later. For the curse, Disintegrate coming out. There was a silence onto ETC. There's the Sulfurous Smash. Big stun on the Calvin. The Unstoppable comes out right after Maiev. Gonna fall in the backline. There's a Planet Cracker onto Joanna, and the Brightwing Joanna gets out thanks to the level 20 blink heal, but Joanna gonna get rooted by the Thrall and caught in the double flame strike. The bomb enough to blow up after the Indestructible falls off. Big curse over to Team Ionic. 3 for nothing on that fight. Get the curse, boss pushing core. This is gonna be GG over to Team Ionic. Yeah, Val, I agree. Don't like Phoenix. He's such a toxic hero to play against. Really strong game 1 coming out from Ionic. Martyr Moratorium had a great second half of the match. I really liked their second half. Woo! That's not how that's supposed to show. Really good second half. I liked the second half. Unfortunately, the first half made the second half so much harder. We already talked about the damage. Yeah, I get that he's a fine hero, but everyone's like, ban KT! And I'm like, no, just kill him. Just kill him. Yeah, so there's the stats. It's where I would expect it. Maybe KT could have had a little bit more damage, but we've already talked about that. Healing numbers pretty similar. XP value, I really think Ragnaros could have used the Lava Wave. I like Sulfurous Smash. I think it's a really, really good ability. But this is such a big map. They were already lacking in clear. I think Ragnaros not taking Lava Wave is a disservice to the team. I don't think they had the right comp for a Maiev. I think the synergy coming from Team Ionic was just way better. I hope that this next game, which I now see what map it is, I hope this next game will see a little bit more cohesion, because I think both of these teams are playing at a very similar level, and I think this one came down to the draft. That's my opinion, but that's what I'm here to do, is give my opinion and also call objectively and be unopinionated. So you figure it out. I owe someone push-ups. So let's get into the lobby. win over to Team Ionic. Map pick over to, we are going to Dragonshire. All right, push-ups real quick. All right. One sec. I'll see if the headset will reach. That way you can... What? Huh? Oh. I meant to do that one. Thank you, honey. One sec. Beast lips. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, and now I remember why Valkymer is hanging out in this stream, because of all the NGS going on tonight. He wants to make me do exercises later on, and he's picking up his points. All right, let me award some wagers. Choose outcome. Team Ionic, complete prediction. There you go, Beast. Congratulations on your points. You can buy lips. I already said that part. All right. Hang on, I'm going to start a new prediction real quick. Why does this keep moving? No, it didn't move that time. Honey, I think Sylvanas needs something. Here we go. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna guess about 5 minutes. By the end of this prediction, which one will have fewer points wagered on it? All right, we are going into Dragonshire, and both teams are ready. So without further ado, here we go. Map pick by Martyr and Moratorium. First pick going over to Team Ionic. But yes, again, so for the prediction, which choice will have fewer points bet on it? Someone start it, please. I want this to be... I thought it was a great idea. All right, Falstad going out, first ban. Falstad, we saw this again. Sounds like either they don't like post-patch Falstad, or they don't like someone on their team playing Falstad. Or even worse, if you're my team, someone on your own team wants to play Falstad, you don't like their Falstad, and you're stopping them from playing Falstad. Alright, Anduin coming in, ban for Martyr and Moratorium. Looks like more of that target banning coming out again. Do I have this set up still? I'm just checking I'll have that set up. That's alright. I was checking for later, but same band so far. I don't think there really needs to be a whole lot of explanation going on about it. It's same reasoning. Malfurion sleeps. Falstad's really strong. Anduin is apparently a target ban. Hanzo, again, another... Guys, this is a different game. Can we see something different in this different game? Was there nothing on the other team that you thought was worth banning? Like a meme beam? Joanna, first pick yet again. First pick, Joanna. You know, Val, all right, maybe you're right. Maybe you win. You win. Joanna really showing up tonight. She doing her part. First pick twice. Joanna's going to be really strong for holding the bottom lane. Again, bottom lane, 3 camps. This is where this map thrives. Crypto Knight picking up. Hey, I get it. Kryptonite. I get it now. It took me a second. It took me a few seconds. A lot of seconds. Varian and Tychus. Probably a taunt Varian. Probably a taunt Varian. Because that's their tank player. They could be doing a switcheroo, but I'm pretty sure taunt Varian's the only way to go right now. Phoenix picked up yet again, so they're going for the picks. Gonna be some big isolation picks looking for coming out of those taunts. And Aura picking up the Brightwing instead. So Brightwing global healing gonna go over to Team Ionic, gonna be able to make those changes up in the top lane. Phoenix is probably gonna be the off lane, but what do I know? Diva ban coming out, so either they don't think Phoenix is gonna be in that top lane, they're expecting some shenanigans out of Team Ionic, or they just really don't like Diva. And I don't blame them. I don't like Diva either. Isn't that right, Darian? Oh, you want to eat my microphone? Stukov ban, I believe that was the healer. No, because Brightwing was picked early, so that's a different ban. I forget what their third ban was last game. But Diva Stukov coming out as the mid bans. I want to see like a Li Ming again or something to go with the Tychus into the Varian.
I'm not checking in. This realm needs me.
Hey, we all get what we want out of this. Rift playing Li Ming. That's exactly what we were asking for. Anna, I like the Anna. Good sleep setups or secures with the heal block. Gonna stop the taunt target from being saved. Just I call those heroes healings with a low skill floor and a high skill a low skill floor and a high skill ceiling. So if you're not good at the hero, and not a reflection of Rift's ability, but the heroes in general, Alarak, Maiev, if you're not good, you perform really, really poorly, but if you are good, you perform really well. Whereas a high skill floor like Sonya, you do pretty well without being very good, right? So the floor being as low as you can go, some heroes have a really low skill floor, others have a really high skill floor. And I think Li Ming is going to be a good character for what you were talking about, but also really good to follow up the Varian. Leoric going to be fighting Sonya in the top lane. I've seen a lot of Leoric Sonyas in the top lane recently. Really good matchups. I like the Orphea with the Ariat Crater with the Joanna. If this isn't a leap and then Ariat Crater Sonya, I am going to riot. I will fill out all of the forms necessary in triplicate to file a complaint. All right, I know that we all like to see this core health. There it is, 21,000 out of 1,400. Same for the other team. Over here in the blue corner, Aura Luna on the Brightwing, Hexblades on the Phoenix, Colovian on the Orphan, Ragu on the Joanna, and Stro on the Sonya. That is your team coming in with the first win, Team Ionic. And over here in the red corner, King Andrew on the Tychus, Rift on Li Ming, Bearded Baron on Anna, Crypto Knight coming in green on the Varian, and Dauntress on the Leoric, and that is Team Martyr of Moratorium. And first damage goes out to the Tychus with that long bomb of a quarterback grenade. Level 1 talents are on the screen. We see Bribe out of Brightwing again. Really not liking these phase shifts for these Brightwing healers. Thank you, Beast, for the reminder. And no one gets the points, unfortunately. Here is the new prediction for game number 2 about to come out.
yourself worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power? Prove it. Take control of the shrines.
Classic siege camp getting picked up for Martyr of Moratorium, and Team Ionic really slow on the pickup here. Team Ionic not wanting to get their siege camp, and maybe they're waiting for
And lay waste to this forsaken kingdom.
the bribe? That seems a little sketch. I don't know. I really don't want to. Oh no! Bribing your own siege camp. I do not like to see that. But I am not on either of these teams, so I don't get to make that decision. Down here in the bot lane is where all the action is going to be, but Leoric is at half health fighting this Sonya. Sonya is in a trait build, it looks like. And Leoric looking in bad shape, 100 health exactly when the number shows up. Rough shape for Leoric, gonna have to take that tap and find some other ways to heal up, but Joanna getting the heal block on her, gonna be at low health. Here comes the phase shift, she's gonna be in good shape. King Andrew picking up the shrine, moon shrine over to red team. That is going to activate the lasers, and now we're looking to no, because Sonya takes the top. What talent was I looking for? I was looking for a talent. Level 1 fealty unto death for Leoric. And now blue shrines for Team Ionic. Almost got the Moonshine, not quite going to get it to activate the lasers. Martyr Moratorium going to come in and bully them off. Orphea at half health, same with the Joanna. And we are now again at a stalemate with these shrines. I'd like to see these Brewster camps picked up.
Team draws first blood.
Leoric, oh my goodness, picking up the death. My bad. Blue is she said blue team draws first blood. Sonya, oh my goodness, picking up the first blood. There, I got it right that time. Sonya just bullying Leoric up in the top lane. I'm sorry that I missed it. That's what you get for being an offlaner, Sonya. Your good plays don't get shown. Big taunt onto the Joanna. There comes the Iron Skin. Afterwards, not able to get the damage on top of it that they want, but with the taunt, this level 4+ squad really wants to pressure Team Ionic as much as they can. Get the picks, maybe onto the Orphea. No, not quite. And Ragu going to be the first death over for Team Ionic. Ripper, I 100% agree. While Sonya is dominating top lane. Who is rotate? While Sonya is dominating the top lane, holding that shrine, they're not able to get in onto this moon shrine. So, getting camps, getting pressure in other places, forcing Martyr Moratorium out and away. Oh, Li Ming. You're really pressuring Sonya. Sonya at 300 health. Probably going to fall here to the Li Ming. And there it is. A beautiful magic missile coming out of Rift. Sonya going to pay for that first blood. Leoric going to pick up this Sunshrine. Now Team Ionic wants to move in where they need to get pressure on this shrine so this dragon cannot be captured. They will do it, and the lasers do not activate. Big taunt onto Joanna. Joanna getting 100% heal block. No Iron Skin, though. And Team Ionic having to back off a little bit. No, putting the pressure back on. There is the Dread Wave coming out of the Orphea. Going to not really catch a whole lot, but the variant slowed to death. 333 down to 0. Brightwing looking for the entrails. Varian, probably the best choice in the Nexus to feast on. Oh, Rift, you're in trouble, buddy. Ooh, everybody in a bush and nobody seeing each other. Really good pickup. Really good pickup on that siege camp for Team Ionic. I'm not going to get a whole lot of value out of it, but neither is Martyr of Moratorium. That's how you should be using that bribe. And then here comes Brightwing using a bribe on the mage to get rid of that spell armor. Now we're going to try to clear up this camp. Bruiser camps getting picked up. Blazers activated for a blue Dragon Knight. Remember, her husband is dead. And Sonya just zoning out this Leoric. Bruiser Camp marching in, and Martyr's Moratorium outnumbered 4-3, coming in, trying to retreat past their keep. Varian getting out with 340 health, not another Q available from Orphea. Able to get a little bit extra damage out onto the Tychus, and the Lion's Fang goes out. Looking to get some damage. You've got to clear this wave. You've got to keep pressure mid. Martyr Moratorium really on the back foot right now as they need to get control of any one lane, but they're getting shoved into their fort on the bot lane. Li Ming maybe going to try to do a stall while Tychus gets the point. They're on it in time. The shrines go away on both sides at the cost of Li Ming, but I think she honestly had to be there in order. Although Leoric was up there, so maybe not. But Li Ming doing good work trying to keep Team Ionic off of the Dragon Knight. Let's watch. Let's watch. Flashlight coming out from Joanna. Blinded Tychus. There's a condemn onto the Varian. Varian gonna get polymorphed, but nothing else. Oh, the lasers flash blue for just a second because Sonya had taken top back and killed the Leoric. Sonya at a third of her health, going to dodge everything from the Li Ming. We do have level 10s. It is a leap, Sonya. It is a laser beam. We have the blink heal. We have Eternal Feast. We have Blessed Shield. I am looking for these level 20 combos. I like game 3s. I'd like to see Martyr play well in this game, but I love the combo from Team Ionic. Over here on Martyr, we do have Nano Boost. We have March of the Black King. We have Commandeer Odin. We have Shield Wall and Li Ming picking up the Wave of Force as we start trying to catch the Sonya with. Yeah, Ripper, you've heard of the Dream Team? This is the meme team. I mean, they're kind of, I don't know. It sounded good. It's a Space Jam reference. Mostly. Siege Camp back up for Martyr Moratorium. They definitely want to get that moving, get some pressure. These Bruiser Camps yet to be picked up. I would love, again, love to see these Bruiser Camps picked up and start marching at each other. Good extra map pressure. Leoric could use the relief from the Sonya. Yeah, not having that silence and tomb later is going to be really hard for Leoric post 20. And Varian caught between a Joanna and a hard place, but able to get out thanks to the hard work of his team. Finishes his Lionheart quest. Is that what it's called? If I could press the right buttons? Lion's Maw, whatever, man. And Leoric picking up the Sonya kill. Woo, buddy. Leoric getting back in this game. Sylph, ain't that the truth? I hate it. I don't hate this map. I just don't like to play it most of the time. It's a good map. It's a very, very good, well-designed map. It ain't Sky Temple, I'll tell you that. Oh, I hate Sky Temple. Leoric, really good kill, gonna get some pressure up top. That is exactly what he needed. Laser's gonna go red. Martyr Moratorium gonna pick up this first objective. That Rift is going away from the dragon. He had time, and now Team Ionic is closing in. The laser coming out just in case there was a channel. Martyr Moratorium, good. Get that pressure on this bot lane. Make them pay for not being down here, but here they come. Look behind you. That's a Joanna. That's an Orphea. A nice sleep from the Anna. Grandma's got the medicine in the cabinet. Putting them to sleep. Letting Martyr Moratorium back out. There is the shield wall. A little force, wave of force coming from Li Ming to knock the Phoenix out of whatever he was doing. Ooh, nice little teleport from Phoenix. Trying to go up get this dragon as the lasers have changed colors, but Martyr Moratorium making a nice rotation. Now all four of them in the mid lane, so same thing. Team Ionic making them pay for being up there, but Phoenix is gonna die in the mid lane while Orphea, Joe, and Brightwing take that fort. Martyr Moratorium should be getting as much siege damage here as they can then, since they lost their fort. They're gonna have a hard time in this bot lane now. Genji, I agree. I 100% agree. But, I mean, the extra heal might be what's doing it for him. A missed spectral grab of farts. What is that called? Drain Hope from the Leoric means he has to back out, especially as the Brightwing teleports in to the Sonya. Nice orb and then dash onto the Joanna. No taunt used yet. There it is. Taunt going out onto, is that Brightwing? Yes. And the Feast, Eternal Feast going out just behind the Varian, but getting caught by it. Great zoning with that Eternal Feast. And Sylph getting called out in chat.
Hero slain.
So Leoric going down, Varian going down. This is a 3v5 defense right now. I think this Dragon gets picked up pretty easily, but Li Ming able to pressure it. Constant interrupts coming out and a quarterback going through. And the Dragon does get picked up. Joanna picking it up just before the interrupt from Rift comes out. First Dragon of the game at 12 minutes in. And a nice kick back behind the wall from the Dragon. Tyga's looking a little low, gonna get a sip. Here comes the Commandeer Odin trying to get some free clear. The Dragon goes away. Nice sleep out onto Bearded Bear. Nana gonna get out with the sleep though. There's the negate healing during the, oh, that's on the Joanna. And the Sonya spin probably. Yep, Sonya looking really low, and a nice extra little grenade coming from the Titans. Gonna finish off the Sonya. Leoric goes down as well though. 2 for 1 on that trade. And this keep, it looks like it might fall right now. Team Ionic definitely putting the pressure on. Phoenix maybe should have gone scan, but just think about an area creator with an Eternal Feast and the Phoenix laser. Like, come on. Come on. Interesting bruiser pick attempt coming out of Team Ionic. They're going to leave it alone though, not wanting to give Martyr Moratorium an opportunity to get back in. Right now, this is Team Ionic's game to give. So Martyr is looking for a mistake.
It won't be long.
They need to wait for Team Ionic to make a mistake. And that is when they get their chance. Oh, look at this face-off. Leoric and Joe both in basically the same spot. That's hilarious. I hope they watch that on the replay. Look at the patience on Joanna. There goes the flashlight. There's the condemned. Dontra's about to ghost walk out. No, he queues back in. He walks in. Oh, I love it with the 13-16 5v4.5 or 2. What is it? 4v2.5 trait, or not trait, set of talents. Spooky walk to have the damage that he can use to disrupt the Orphea combo and the Phoenix combo, and that I will be looking for some big plays coming out of Leoric. That is a damage number I wish we had stats for, is damage prevented, kind of like the defense matrix from Diva, but on blinds, on things like Leoric trait, a missed Blessed Shield and a missed Eternal Feast. Nothing's gonna happen there. Sonya and Leoric fighting up top, so none of that intervention. There is the laser. No one's gonna die, but Joanna has run out. 500 health, going to go heal. This is 4v3. Keep the pressure up. Martyr of Moratorium, you have the upper hand right now. And a missed laser dodged, or missed orb dodged by Orphea. There's a taunt onto the Phoenix. Phoenix gonna drop with a nice sleep coming out of Anna to prevent the teleport. Just that extra little bit of sleep time was all they needed to finish out the Leoric, and of course shattering throw into into a Joanna and a Phoenix and a level 7 shield from Brightwing. Shattering Throw going to be seeing a lot of value right now. And that is the first structure of the game for Martyr Moratorium. They have momentum right now. They are up 4v3, and Leoric's going to come up shortly. He needs to get on this Sun Shrine, capping, give his team a chance to get the dragon. Oh my goodness, my throat hurts. Somebody redeem a hydrate. Just kidding, I don't have that. All right. Shout out to my wonderful mods.
The Dragon Knight shall reduce you to cinders.
Here we go. First objective of the match for Martyrs of Moratorium. No, Vel, I need you to get rid of that bot. Dragon coming into the bot lane, looking for the first keep of the game. Marching in, there's the big protect on the variant. There's the big old laser coming out of the Phoenix, but not comboed in the Eternal Feast. All the synchronization on these heroics just not coming in. Here comes the Sonya leaping in from the side. Probably, no, just gonna kill the Leoric instead, and Joanna getting kicked, or Sonya getting kicked out. But not before Leoric dies. There's a Condemn coming in. And look for the Leoric. Oh wait, Leoric is dead. He can't Ghost Walk. Anna and Li Ming gonna fall as well.
Red team dominated.
Valk, DM me please, as a reminder. First keep ends up going over to Team Ionic after coming out of that huge 5-man team by Leoric is going to come up right now. Maybe he's able to reduce some damage. Phoenix forgetting that Leoric doesn't spawn in the base. Sonya leaping out onto the Leoric, gonna finish him off. This core is going down 50, count it down 4. Oh no, I pressed the wrong button. I just wanted to zoom in. Oh man, and that was not area at Crater at 24. Sonya. Okay, good, I get stats. That game was instantaneous, so Team Ionic picking up the sweep. I will look for a interview shortly. GG to Team Ionic. Control W, Ripper, let me know. Let me find Aura. There is the stat page. Oh, I'm so glad nobody dropped in on me in Discord because I forgot to leave the Discord. So that's cool. Yeah. So really interesting set. So overall, a really interesting stat. So here are the stats right now. Overall, big damage coming out from Sonya, followed by the Orphea. I'm sad that we never got to see the Ariat Crater. We didn't get Ariat Crater, but we didn't get the Ariat Crater with the Eternal Feast. The synergy with the Meme Beam wasn't there, and so that was a little disappointing. Off of Martyr Moratorium, Tychus coming in big with the damage. Lots of damage onto Sonya and Joanna. Leoric had a lot of skirmish damage going on. Li Ming just poking from the back line. So these numbers are kind of what you would expect. Tychus with a lot of clear with that grenade. Li Ming and Leoric also just, I mean, Leoric's the offlaner. He's going to have a lot of damage. Fairly low death count out of Team Ionic. And 1 second, sorry about that. But overall, a lot of control coming out of Team Ionic. It looked really good. There was not a whole lot of unnecessary death, and just overall match control felt like it was entirely in the hands of Team Ionic. And speaking of Team Ionic, I had the captain, Aura Luna. How are you? How does that sweep feel?
Hi, I'm great. I feel like we needed that domination bad, and I'm really happy, honestly. So, yeah, I think. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You had more. This is you.
They definitely they gave us some scares. I think the Varian was the scariest part for me, getting taunted and just having to instantly cleanse and blink my way out of there. But they fought us hard, but we needed this win bad, and I'm glad we got it.
Good. Well, I am happy for you. So, game number 1, the draft was I can't pull it up. Looked really good. You had Rhaegar, you had not Joanna, you had ETC, you had Sonya again.
It was
who's your offlaner?
It may have been Thrall.
It was Thrall. Yeah. You had ETC, Thrall, Rhaegar, Phoenix, and Kael'thas.
Yeah.
I give a lot of shade to Kael'thas. It's nothing against your Kael'thas player. Just heads up. Is that what the draft looked like going into the game, or did that adjust at all?
More or less, that was like exactly what we wanted. We knew we wanted the Rhaegar. We knew we wanted the Thrall. Our tank could have varied. It could have been ETC, could have been Johanna, could have been an Uberak even. But for the most part, that's pretty much like what we were going for.
Good. So, it worked really well together. It felt like it had a lot of cohesion. The game, skill-wise, the game felt really even, but I think y'all had a very clear draft advantage. Is that what it felt like for y'all? What did that game? How did that game feel?
I mean, yeah, I think we drafted for that map. We picked that map. So I think, yeah, we definitely had a little bit more insight as far as that went. And yeah, I think just like our rotations, like trying to get camps early and often, that helped us out a lot. And like Rhaegar being the healer that can do that, just split off and just go get camps like that. I think that was really good for us too. So yeah, we pretty much just kind of like went for the draft that was going to match that map and played our best with that.
Good. No, like I said, overall it felt like I had control over pretty much the entire game. There were a couple spots in the second half where Martyr was starting to come back, but I think the first half just had them so far behind that their good plays just you got to win the last fight, but you don't get to control when the last fight is in order to win the game, right? And so so the fights they won were able to set up another fight that they needed to win in order to take control, and you never gave them the second fight that was in their advantage. Was there any point where y'all started to get nervous, anxious, you had to make an adjustment? What were comms like throughout that game?
Oh god, no. Okay, there was one part, I think the tribute was in top lane, and they caught us in a Warden's Cage, killed, I think, they killed my Kael'thas, and I think maybe my solo laner, they don't remember. But it was, I ancestraled the KT, and then they just killed him again. Right in the, like, choke point there, in between the top and mid lanes. And that scared me to death, honestly. But, you know, they had a couple good combos like that, but somehow we pulled it off. And then there was another moment towards the end of the game in that bottom tribute there where our KT, she was pushed so far forward, and I remember Thrall just being like, no, and like jumps in and sunders. And it was awesome. But...
So speaking of Thrall, speaking of Sunder,
mm-hmm.
I'm curious by the Sunder. You'll notice me talking about Earthquake in draft.
Uh-huh.
So,
yeah.
And I mean, that's my personal preference. There's a reason I'm not as good at this game as I would like to be, but I feel like Earthquake brings a lot better utility to a team fight, and I'm interested if Sunder was a player choice or a team choice, and what went into that, if you're able to answer that.
I think for the most part, I mean, because I don't normally play the solo lane, but yeah, Earthquake I think is a really good like AoE kind of ultimate. I think it's great. I think Stro plays Sunder really well, and I think that's why he chose it because I feel like he thought he could probably get more use out of it, more like CC ability out of it.
Okay.
So that's probably just his preference on that one.
Fair enough. I understand. Yeah. I understand not definitively answering for someone else. Like I said, and you said you don't play it. But that's good. So that was more of his choice. Y'all didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's 100% him.
Okay. Is there anything else in particular that? Sorry, Stroge just answered in chat. This is Thrall. Both are good. I wanted to take names. Sunder lets me do that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Is there anything else out of that game 1 that you thought was worth pointing out before we go to game 2?
Let me think about it here. Maiev is a bit of a scary hero for me. I think definitely those warden cages and those pools, they were pretty scary for backline heroes, and they gave me a fright. But yeah, good plays overall in game 1 for sure.
Yeah, I was worried that they didn't have the follow-up for the warden's cage. I didn't like the Maiev pick with the comp, but I like the Maiev, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so I didn't see a whole lot of follow-up. I think they could have gotten some good value out of the other one, the containment disc. Is that what it's called? No one takes it. That's why I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But in turning fights into 5v4, especially with the Sulfuria Smash, I think could have done some good things and made that harder for y'all to do. I think y'all played it really well. Y'all didn't take chances where you didn't need to. And so absolutely great job there. So game number 2. You take your first pick, the Joanna, away from him. Was that a hate draft? Was that the plan?
Well, I mean, honestly, like we had gone the ETC in the first round. I think she just wanted to switch it up. I think she wanted to play a different tank that round. And then I was like, yeah, they just played that. We could take it away from them. So yeah, it wasn't really like targeting them on purpose, but it just kind of ended up that way.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah. And then you took Brightwing away.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that they played Brightwing. Oh my gosh.
So you get Brightwing, and not even during the first pick for Brightwing on Dragonshire, which I think she would be a high priority hero there. And so I'm curious. I understand why Bribe, even though Cursed Hollow, it's a big map, but when you don't have the camp clear, having that Bribe and camp pressure is good. I was confused by the nature of the map, and you had a Sonya, you have Orphea, you have Phoenix. I feel I don't play Phoenix or Sonya all that much. I don't know how their camp pressure is. Orphea struggles a little bit, but I thought y'all had good camp clear, so I was very curious by your Bribe pick.
Okay, yeah. I like it because I think it can give us like quicker steals on their camps, especially when we have an advantage, like something like I think towards the end of the game, we were getting ready to win, and I was just like, I'll just bribe their camp on the way up, like something like that. Or like taking, I think it was the bottom camp. I had like 2 of those.
There
bribes
was
or something.
okay, so there was one. So you bribed your own camp at the beginning of the game. And then later on, you spent 2 on their siege camp, and then went and bribed the mage to get rid of the spell armor, and then y'all force killed the other 3.
Yeah,
I think it's just, it definitely has pressure. It surprised me because as important as having control over both major lanes was, that's why I was interested.
Yeah, I think it's definitely questionable. I know some people don't like it on Brightwing, but I think for us and for me, it gives us just a faster camp take overall, and to take them at unconventional times.
And Sonya generally doesn't need the extra healing. She doesn't need to go back. She can just stay in lane to heal back up. So I think she's a safer offlaner to take it with. So, but thank you for answering. I really appreciate that. Game 2, again, a lot of control. Enemy team got a dragon. There was one point where y'all went mid to defend a dragon cap, so they pushed bot. You came down, you destroyed them, and then y'all capped, swapped the lasers around, and then y'all took their bottom fort because they were defending from the dragon.
Yeah.
And they had their own dragon at one point. Same question from game 1. Was there a point in this game where you were unsure?
Yeah, I think when they got the dragon, I think they killed us in bot lane, and then ended up, what was it? It was like left with me and Orphea in the bot lane, and then we were missing our tank, and Sonya had died in top lane. And so they got both points. Phoenix was just kind of chilling in the mid lane, being like, what do I do? Do I go like stop this dragon? And they ended up getting the dragon, pushing us in a little bit, and that made me very nervous. Like, because they had that camp in bot lane, and they were pushing that. I can't remember exactly what had happened, but that gave me a fright. I think having my teammates down, and what we ended up doing, I think, was just playing it safe, waiting for the tank to come back, waiting for Sonya to come back, and then defended it. Just played it as safe as possible.
Okay, yeah, and that makes sense. With it never feels good when they get the dragon.
It was scary.
There was one other thing. I think y'all had just gotten a dragon. I think maybe y'all took the bot keep, and then y'all went and made a play on their bruisers, and got their bruisers really low, and they showed up, and y'all got spooked and left, which was the right call, right? You don't want to give the and during the game I say they're not going to give them the mistake they need from us to come back into the game. Is that basically what the call sounded like?
Pretty much, yeah. It was a very aggressive call, and then yeah, they showed up, and Stro just, I remember him just being like, give it, and everybody just backs up. So, yeah.
Is there, again, so I asked very similar questions because the games are structured the same. Game number 2, anything else in particular that you want to draw attention to?
They played a really good Varian. That scared me a lot. The taunts were on point.
They'll take a lot of shields into Shattering Throw.
Yeah, it was scary. Trying to think. Li Ming, annoying. Pokes, very annoying. Let me try to think of what, I don't remember what they had. They had Varian, that was the scariest part for me.
Anna, Leoric, Tychus, Varian, Li Ming.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember, I think top lane, it was just Sonya and Leoric going back and forth the whole time. And so, yeah. The scary part for me there, I think, was when Leoric killed Sonya. That was the scariest part, because he was on point, like, most of that game, and then he got a kill on him. I was like, oh no!
Stro wants you to talk about the kick.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the time they had the dragon, they actually kicked our Sonya into their back lane. So she had flank on them, and then we just turned the fight and won that fight.
Yeah,
So,
that was an unfortunate direction with the kick. It ended up working out for y'all really well. So, MVP. At least you're without having rewatched it, without having talked to the team, not necessarily who you report when you report the match, not necessarily who's the MVP. Just right now, coming fresh off of it.
Oh goodness, that's so hard. In this match, Stro, I gotta give it to him because he kept Dauntress down in the top lane both games, the entire time. That life-saving Sunder at the end of game 1. That turn at the end of game 2, I gotta give it to Stro. I think he just wrecked this game.
Fantastic. Anything else, whole match, anything else before shoutouts that you think should be talked about?
Yeah, I can't think of anything in particular, honestly.
No
Good
worries.
games all around.
That's fine. I want to make sure you have the opportunity to talk about anything that you want to. So then, shoutouts.
Okay, first of all, shout out to my team, Ionic. You guys did wonderful tonight. I'm really proud of you. Shout out to Martyrs of Moratorium. You guys did great as well. Played a hard match. And, of course, I have to insert trash talk here. You're going down, yeah. And shout out to my coach, Ripper. He's the best coach in A. And,
he's been very helpful this stream, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he's great. He's the best coach ever. And then shout out to you, of course. Thank you for casting Taco/Taquito.
I love it. I love the casting. It's so much fun. I love it. I enjoy it more than playing, I think. So
awesome.
Well, thank you so much, Aura. Thanks for giving us some of your time. I know that you have a team to go celebrate a sweep with, so I will let you get to that. And have a wonderful night.
All right. Thanks, you too.
So there you have it. That is a 2-game sweep for Team Ionic. If you had a wonderful time, just like I did, again, thank you so much for hanging out. Please hit that follow button. Get those notifications when I go live. I love casting. I've been playing some other stuff too on the side, but I really enjoy this casting. It's what most of my streaming is. I love that y'all are hanging out. I love that y'all are active, giving feedback, talking about the teams. You don't have to talk to me. Talk to each other. It's great. So definitely keep coming back. Overall, a great match. Again, we talked, the synergies maybe weren't quite there that I would have liked to have seen. But the coordination, the team fights looked pretty good. Otherwise, I think overall both teams played very well, very equal to each other. I think game 1 came down to the draft. Otherwise, I think that was a dead even game. Game 2, a lot of those kills just not able to get pushed through for Martyr, and Stro just dominating the top lane. The camp pressure, the overall presence of Team Ionic, bringing them ahead. Here's the talents. I mean, you've seen them. Oh no, I'm not. I'm on a different screen. I was gonna say here's the last look at the talents, but I put them up. So again, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm gonna look for. There's some more NGS action going on. I think Dax is in the middle of a doubleheader, so let's go give him some love. Is he in between stream? Hang on. Why isn't this working? While we're waiting, Darian. Oh, he's in his crate. Is he in there voluntarily? Dax. Oh, you're in between matches, Dax. Alright. That's the wrong button. Again, oh, right. Sorry, the last little bit. Thank you for hanging out. I'm Taco. You can find me here. You can also find me at the Little Taco on Twitter. And let's see if that'll go through. And I post when my team's gonna fight. I generally post when I'm gonna cast. There it is. And let's go check out